Hello everyone, let's talk today about yet another affordable model. This time it's pretty new, it's TRN MT3. Of course, we all know TRN for a lot of different models from the different price tier, but recently they are pretty effectively delivering in the affordable segment, and MT3 is their new attempt. It's single dynamic driver model with some interesting sophisticated dynamic, zinc alloy acoustic cavity. Also they added the new ear tips, and all that cost just $15, plus minus few dollars depending on the shop and depending on do you want microphone or not. And they offering a good cable with it, so sounds like a really good offer, of course. And I will add links to the official shop in the description. And actually now let's have a closer look. As you can see, box is pretty simple, traditional black cardboard with transparent front panel, slightly different from matchbox style packaging of other models in the affordable segment. Underneath we are getting earpieces themselves, actually pretty nice presentation, looks and feels more expensive than they cost. So here we're getting different useful things. Some warranty card, not that interesting, manual. So that's it, what we got here. Of course, we're getting stock cable. Let me accurately unpack it, because I don't want to tear this package too much. Here it is. And two different set of tips, so pretty generous offer in the affordable price segment. So here are regular white silicone tips, and here we're getting black silicone tips, and actually that new TRN tips are already on the earpieces themselves. As you can see, they're made of that transparent semi-sticky silicone. I wonder why they stick it so deep. So nothing more in the box. Here it is. Interesting tips made of sticky silicone, providing better grip in your ears, but not everyone likes that feeling of silicone sticking into your ear channel. In terms of build quality, it's really great for this price tier. They're made totally of metal. You can see that they created interesting faceplates, and it's not the traditional models from one OEM factory that we can see in this segment. Build quality is great, and actually, they have like additional weight, so giving you feeling of more solid build. And there is a spout with proper angle, length is about average, and some passive sound isolation is also on the average level. And there is lip for holding the tips, and a traditional grill for protecting internals of earpieces from different derbies and stuff. So let's put it back. And cable made replaceable. Here use the QDC style connectors, 2-pin connectors with recessed pins. So let's unwind the cable. Actually, here it is. Cable itself, like pretty traditional. They promised, if I remember right, silver plated copper. Of course, I'm not sure what material is used here. And in this segment I just pay attention at the ergonomics first and design. So really tightly fitting connectors, that's good. Nice reliable ear hooks, and cable itself, it's pretty soft, nicely braided, really comfortable in wearing. Here is the chin slider. Oh sorry, no chin slider, just splitter. I wanted to say there is no chin slider. And after the splitter it goes braided down to the angle jack. So to summarize this part, you can see yourself that presentation, design and stuff are really great. And of course about the sound, traditionally I gave them about 48 hours of burn-in. There were no big changes in sound, and I actually didn't expect them, but someone need to try to do that, and I am that someone. And in terms of tuning, TRN created really interesting model. I can say in advance that it's not everyone's cup of tea and it's not one size fit all. And with this model, TRN decided not to go mass market and create something traditionally V-shaped. They are V-shaped in terms of frequency response, but at the same time it's a pretty good demonstration that frequency response graphs doesn't tell the whole thing, because they have accent in the low frequencies, they have balancing accent at the treble area and upper mids, but they don't sound like traditional inexpensive V-shaped models. They are more focused on the treble energy, and they have speedy punchy bass, not traditionally super weighty but more shifted towards the speed, and that gives an unusual perception that probably not everyone will like. But okay, let's postpone that until the conclusion and talk about the sound first. So bass is actually pretty deep and they have accent on the low frequencies, even deepest bass is accented, but at the same time they shifted balance from weight towards the speed a little bit, so they deliver a nice great punch, good sense of tightness, pretty nice resolution and amount of overtones and small nuances in the bass area. They sound really good for the natural instruments. Of course, for the price, I won't repeat that constantly. And they deliver them with good sense of naturalness. With electronic music, I also like them, but I think a lot of people will prefer more weighty representation, but definitely it's a matter of your taste. And actually, let's talk about the first example. It's Caravan Palace Maniac. Nice, good electro swing. Probably Caravan Palace were first inventors of this genre, and they have, of course, traditional for this genre bass line, pretty impactful, but at the same time these earphones played good, but with nice punch, but not shadowing the mid frequencies and treble area, which is a benefit for this genre, but also it's really a matter of taste in many cases. Mid frequencies are interesting. They are detailed but not over focused on the micro contrast. Of course, they're not detailed like $100 models, but resolution is pretty nice, and they have noticeable peak at the presence area, that upper mid, that makes female vocals like more crisp, more forward and more enjoyable. Also, they accenting aggressive guitars and all instruments that fitting in that area. At the same time, male vocals sometimes lacking the weight, because, as I've said, they, instead of weight on the low frequencies, decided to go for speed. And there is no traditional for many inexpensive models weight accent in the lower mids area. But if the record is good, there won't be that issue, but definitely people who will be buying these earphones not always will pay attention for the best mastering, best quality of records or something like that. In general, detalization is good, and as for staging, actually they built really wide stage for me, but not really deep. So width is above average, depth is below average. So like a bit two-dimensional, but you know, taking in price into account, I don't see much reasons to complain here. They require some better recorded material, especially in terms of upper mids and treble treatment, because they can sound sharp if record is sharp and sibilant. So like my favorite example, Iron Maiden's Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, with that really piercing s can sound sharp. So that keep that in mind. It's a bit fault of earphones, but mainly fault of the record in general. And as an example for the mid frequencies, great work by David Gilmour, Faces of Stone. That's why we like David Gilmour, really interesting melody, saturated with small nuances and tones of stuff, nice vocal and performance. Everything is really great, and thanks to this uncolored representation of these earphones, it delivers pretty pleasant. But if you used to some forced dynamics, for example, or highlighted emotions or something like that, maybe it's not a model for you. And the treble, it's pretty energetic, really detailed, filled with air, and having slightly above average extension, but at the same time, you know, they don't sound too sharp for me. In general, they have that balance shifted towards the upper mids and treble area. For me, they don't sound bright, but probably it can be fatiguing for some people, especially for those who don't like treble. For me, it's okay, but tastes differ, and you need to keep that in mind, that it's definitely not a traditional type of tuning here. It's great, and I really enjoy it, but I understand that other people can hate it. You know, taste differ. Someone can like super hot food, others like will have problems with health from that. So it depends. That's why I am always saying that usually there is no really bad earphones. There are earphones that are not for you. Of course, there are a lot of bad models, but usually I am not reviewing them at all. And let's speak about the example for the treble area. It's Hoff Ensemble moving. If you haven't heard Hoff Ensemble, really recommend you paying attention. It's like totally truly 100% audiophile records. It's like really relaxed jazz, but it's so well recorded that actually record quality is yet another instrument in this ensemble. Superb record quality, perfect treble, so great material for top-of-the-line players, good earphones, and of course this model is far from the point where I can say that they delivering this track at the proper level. It's really far from that, but at the same time, because of that energetic treble, you're getting a lot of overtones, a lot of percussions, nuances, and airness, and in general it sounds really pleasant. Speaking about the sources, they definitely need something to control them properly, because regular smartphones can just spoil their unique features and stuff like that. And I think that it's better to pair them with neutral or bright sources. You can compensate their sound using some warmer digital tonal converter, but to be honest, I don't see sense in that. Get unusual model and then tweak it to make sound more usual, I don't think it's making sense. Speaking about the comparisons, there are a lot of really tons of models in this area, but just the one recent that I reviewed, it's BGVP Scale Pro, but BGVP Scale Pro, it's more traditional hybrid model with more weighty bass, with more with bit less energetic treble, but at the same time they don't have that coherence that single driver model delivers. So to summarize this all, actually it's unusual model that I really recommend you to try. There is a like non-zero probability that you won't like them, but they cost just $15, and in my opinion it's just the amount of money subjectively I can invest to make an experiment. They will give you really well, not unique experience. Of course there are models with such tuning in more in higher segments, but for the budget segment it's kind of unique, and you can spend not a lot of money to just make experiment and make your decision. I'm not saying that you definitely will like them, but you will discover something new about yourself and actually extend your audiophilic experience. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.